Hi, everyone. First of all, it's beautiful outside. So the fact that you're all in here with us, as opposed to being outside on a patio, having a cocktail after a long winter, thank you. There are cocktails after, I promise. But so I'm Verna De Jesus. I'm here from a small town called New York City. I oversee our CTV and audio partnerships at the Trade Desk, and I'm super excited to have my friend Zach here on stage with us. So Zach Belmont, he's a VP at Paramount. We'll go to Zach in a second, who can tell you all about all the cool things he's doing. But Zach, I just gotta say, Paramount Plus launched with ads in Canada last month, and you gave us a gift. The gift of being the only DSP with programmatic access. So thank you. So kudos to Zach. But Zach, all joking aside, I'd love for you to share with everybody here more about your role and what are you watching right now, just so that the team can get to know you a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Zach Belmont, Vice President for International Programmatic Revenue at Paramount. Work within the International Ad Sales Division, so Paramount Advertising International. I oversee all programmatic and revenue across streaming, whether that's Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, any of our pay TV brands, direct-to-consumer portfolio. That all sits with me. So I have a really unique and holistic view across all of our content, all of our programming, all of our platforms, our ad strategy, working with programmatic, direct and indirect, whether that's SSPs, whether that's our unique and really exciting partnership with the Trade Desk, which we are really excited about how things are going, and just making our IQ package, which I'll talk a little bit more. But yeah, essentially access to our premium video inventory through one consolidated source and through one preferred buyer. So yeah, it's been incredibly interesting times at Paramount. We're really at the forefront when it comes to streaming, when it comes to rolling out ad tiers, when it's looking at new formats, new innovative ways to access audiences. So yeah, I'm really pumped to be in this division, especially as we're undergoing such a lot of positive change as we transition into streaming as the predominant way of viewership happening.
I mean, I love that you're so passionate about the technology and the back end aspect of it, but you also have access to incredible content. So, what's your favorite that your team's been working on lately, that for people here to add on their binge list?
I'm a bit of a techie geek at heart, so I'm always very interested in the ad tech, the delivery mechanisms, but you've hit the nail on the head. Paramount is really a powerhouse when it comes to content. There's a mountain of content at Paramount. That's
what
what
am I
we like
watching
to
on my
say.
flight home,
Well, I was enjoying watching some Paramount Plus content on the flight out here at the moment, because we've got interesting partnerships with lots of airlines and making our premium streaming library available in different places outside of the home is one of just those exciting ways that we do it. But to your question, what have I been watching recently? So
You're putting me on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what are you watching?
I'm watching a lot. I really, I'm a bit of a cinephile, a bit of a binge watcher. But most recently on Paramount Plus, I watched the BlackBerry sort of movie documentary.
Ah, wasn't that a Canadian company?
It was
okay.
indeed.
I see what you're doing. You're working the crowd here. You're like, all right, so
Got to give
everyone's
the people
homework.
what they want.
Watch the documentary.
Yeah.
So you were watching that on the way here?
I was watching that actually last week before I came out.
Okay.
It's just a great story. It really brought me back to the early noughties when I was attached to my BlackBerry Curve, my BlackBerry Edge, the days of BlackBerry
BBM.
Messenger. Oh yeah, BBM was the one. And it's almost a cautionary tale as well of how you can have total market share and then just lose it to a powerhouse like Apple overnight, which is such a shame.
I guess I know what I'm watching tonight. So you're based in London. And what I love about your role, you're focusing on international markets, and being in London, it's a truly global hub. But you're here with us in Toronto, so thank you. So I don't want to assume that you're just following Meghan Markle and Prince Harry of popping over, but Paramount Plus launched in the US in March of 21. You've expanded globally across so many markets with the ad-free version, but why is Canada your first ad-supported market? What is it other than the lovely Canadians we have in the room today? Why are you bringing this ad-supported, service, the AVOD service here?
So when I look at the Canadian market, and I've been doing an incredible amount of market research, looking at economists, analysts of the market itself, understanding viewership behaviors, it's very clear to see that AVOD is that next frontier when it comes to streaming. I think a lot of the people in this room here today, and we're all consumers of streaming, is that premium subscription streaming is reaching saturation. If anything, we're starting to see a little bit of attrition with the cost of living increase, with the just sheer fragmentation and abundance of services. Buyers, consumers, they're all out there looking for different ways to access content. And part of that, having a slightly subsidized, ad-enabled, but still very premium, low ad load experience is one of the reasons why we launched P+.
Amazing.
Back, just to continue, so my unique view is that I work all markets outside of the US. So whether that's piggybacking off of some of the learning success that we've seen with the ad tier launch in the US, with the plans that we have to roll out further than just Canada, we've got Australia launching in the next couple of months. It's really that next frontier for us as a business. So we see Canadians, but also just the streaming market in general, is honing in on these ad-supported tiers. And you look at the likes of our competitors, Netflix, Amazon Prime, like everyone's doing it, and it's because there are too many premium streaming services out there. Like you could have like 8 to 10 subscriptions, but it might bankrupt you on a monthly basis.
I mean, yeah, my Amex bill is getting up there. So I am very happy that there's ad-supported options. So you kind of hit on this a little bit. We have a lot of friends here that are in the buying community, the planning community, and those types of roles. I'd love for you hinted on it, like the overview of like all the different Paramount's premium streaming video services and inventory. How should they think about it? How should they plan on buying? Like what are the simple tips that you'd want them to be thinking about as they explore all the different ways in which to think about your overall like streaming video strategy? And
Yeah, absolutely. So we're already in market. We're doing AVOD with Pluto TV. We've got our owned and operated. What we've realized as business, and this is another learning from the US and the great success that we've seen, packaging, creating total TV, total premium video, deal IDs, bundles that you can buy into, is our IQ product. So that brings together all of our services. But one of the things that we did to make that a reality was unified all of those platforms under a single ad server. We had, I think it was like 6 different instances of FreeWill at one go, like all separate markets, separate platforms. It was an absolute mess. But one of the exciting things that we did in November last year was unify the whole stack. So we're a global.
That's no small feat.
It really isn't. And to do it during November in Q4 was very, very ambitious. But I've got to say, went off without a hitch. And what that enabled was the fact that we could create single deal IDs across all of our streaming and premium video offering. That means that buyers like yourself, through the trade desk, through our exclusive partnership in Canada, you can buy unified reach and frequency at scale. You're not having the same issues that you might have when you're buying from a fragmented approach, where you're like, oh, I'll buy a bit of P+, I'll buy a bit of Pluto, I'll buy some other assets as well, and then you're getting a lot of overlap. And when we're thinking about streaming, it's all about incremental reach and driving efficiency, and that's one of the challenges that Paramount's IQ product aims to help alleviate.
That's awesome. It's funny you mentioned like there's just so much content out there, so much opportunities, so much different ways in which to consume it. So from a programmatic lens, because there is so much out there, how do buyers think about adding a new AVOD app to their media buying plans? Like how would you recommend that's like, okay, I feel like just when we get to a point where like we figured out how to do this, it changes. And a lot of that change is good, like Paramount Plus becoming ad supported, here in Canada. But as that, as things change, as a new AVOD app comes into the mix, what would you want people to think about and how they shift their strategies and like new ways to bring in like new entrants into their overall holistic plans?
So the IQ offering, that is definitely our preferred way to engage with the buying community, to give you that unified reach and frequency at scale. We, of course, can do transparent deals across our platforms, but we really feel that content-driven approach, Paramount Plus, is not available in isolation. So you can't just like buy that platform. But what we really want buyers to understand is that they're buying premium content, and that's what the IQ package is all about. You could either have a total IQ video bundle where it's just all of the best of Paramount content in one deal, or you could have things like IQ Comedy, where it's just picking up on the best of our Comedy Central brand content, our licensed and acquired content on P Plus, on Pluto TV. There's also the ability to do more bespoke brand safe deals where you're including content. So we want to be, whilst the platforms are very important, we want you to look at it more from the content perspective and ensuring that you're accessing the audience that you want, and also layering on data from your side. So passing the right signals within the bid stream, supporting things like UID2, which is another initiative that we kicked off during the partnership.
UID2.
UID2 is definitely the way forward, and we're looking at a host of different pseudo-anonymized IDs. But as it relates to the trade desk, we really want to provide your buyers with the best insights.
That's awesome. All right, to close this out, I know we've been asking everyone that's been up here. It's like staying on theme. Like, what are you most excited about from the world of streaming, but also the world of programmatic and how those two are intersecting for the future here in Canada?
So when I'm looking at the Canadian market, there's definitely that like shift in viewership that's happening.
Yeah.
And it's not just to streaming, but now it's towards ad-supported streaming. When it comes to the way that investment is happening, and this isn't just, in Canada or North America alone, it's worldwide. The bulk of investment that we are seeing on streaming platforms is coming from a programmatic first place. I'm always being asked by my bosses, bring in more direct IO business. And I'm like, but that isn't the way that this media is being transacted, because there's better transparency, there's better signals, there's better attribution, there's even better targeting capabilities, and you can make it back out to like core KPIs, whether you're a DR advertiser or looking at more top of the funnel as a brand.
Well, first of all, thank you for being a champion of the open internet. Just the way you even answered that, I love that, and it's something that we wish more of our partners would continue to help tap for us. Thank you for being up here with us, and thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.